Hi there, my name is Rebecca Ness, and I am the owner here at Balance You Clinic here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I want to share with you today is the beautiful, wonderful set of the 8 brocades. 8 brocades means the weaving. So brocade in an ancient term or an old term is a quilt or a sheet of some sort. And so it's the weaving of in and out of the threads that make our tapestry. So we think of the 8 brocades is bringing everything together and kind of interweaving them. So when we're teaching, when we're learning these set, it is a combination of different channel systems and aspects of our body, and kind of bringing together the 5 elements, which makes up our body, which makes up Earth and the universe and all of the things. And so right now I'm recording this, and this is I think November 5th or November 4th, something like that, in 2025. And so we're entering into the transitional time into winter time. And so it's always good to do somewhat of a tune-up and kind of like interweave many of the lessons learned of this year. And as I've been reflecting on 2025 and all of the different lessons that we have learned throughout this year, it felt really good to use this set in particular as we are transitioning into the yin time of the year. And so the yin time of the year is a time of darkness and about a quiet and contemplation and more of a yin-like aspect, which that's more internal versus yang being outward and doing all kinds of things, which is like the summertime, right? And so let's go ahead and begin. And we're going to do some warm-ups, and then we're going to go through the 8 brocades. When you're watching this video, you can always stop and be like, oh, I want to do this one a little bit longer, and I would actually challenge you with that, because when we really dive deep into one posture, we can feel all of the essence of that posture, and we can just kind of dive a little deeper in our study. And what does that feel like in your body? Because that's where the wisdom comes from, is from the practice of continually doing one thing over and over, and then you learn all the nuances. I mean, doesn't that apply to everything in our life? That is life, basically. And so yeah, I just want to kind of share this with you, and this is what we're teaching at the clinic for the month of November. And so I thought I wanted to get this out so that my students can practice this as well throughout, not just on Wednesday. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. So hopefully you can see me well. So let's just start with bringing our hands onto our lower belly and softening your eyes. Start to notice your body. Notice the temperature in the room that you are in. Notice as you breathe in and breathe out slowly, your breath starts to get a little deeper, a little slower, a little more of reflection inside. And maybe you notice a little kink in your neck, or tightness in your shoulders, or a little tightness in your hips. Just notice that, and then see if you can breathe through that area to help soften that hip or that shoulder, that neck, whatever it is. As most practices of the ancients, it all begins with breath. So just taking this precious moment that we have to breathe in, life. This is what we learned through the metal phase of the year, the fall. Now that we're preparing our bodies for the yin time of the year, and we've let go of a lot of stuff, we can really be in our space, because we now have again, slowly open the eyes. And then releasing the hands. And let's just take a deep breath in, expanding the hands out to the side. And maybe lift up whatever has been coming up for you that may be a little bit agitating, a little bit stuck feeling. That's the earth in disharmony. And as the hands come above the head and start to press down, as if to clear each and every one of your cells of that clutter, stuck feeling, agitation behind it. And all the while you're breathing in, you're breathing out. Very good. And then when you get lower, below the lower dantian, the lower the belly button, the hands come to the side, just kind of shake that off. You're like, let all that go. Just like the leaves on the trees, you're just letting go of what you don't need. Because we do have to let go of things in order to learn new things, right? Create more space for what is to come. And that's what we learned in the middle aspect, right? So let's take another deep breath in. Extending the arms out. And now gathering what feels very nourishing. Very soft, inviting. And as the hands come together, now pressing down as if to fill yourself with this soft, nourished, cozy feeling. You almost can feel that warm blanket just wrapping around you to feel comfort. And then just one more time for good measure. And also to remember that you can always come back to this space, wherever you're at. Breathing in, rising all the way up. And then as you press down again, as if to seal this sensation into your body of this nice, warm, cozy support. Bringing the hands back to the lower dantian to bring that energy back into the source from where it began. Just breathe that juiciness in, that nourishment, that support that you just sort of maybe longing for right now. Very good. And let's just start with some shoulder circles. And even softening the knees and rising up. Remembering in anything with a martial art or in QiGong, it's a full body movement. There's nothing isolated. You never just use your hand. You use your arm, your shoulders, your low back, your belly, you're down to your feet. And we if we come from that space, then we can also be more powerful and more strategic with our movement, more graceful. 2 more. Very good. And then reverse direction, and maybe exaggerate the movement just a little bit more, allowing the elbows to come out, making this more of a rising from the feet all the way up through the hips, all the way up through the shoulders, letting your head even fall forward a little bit. Feel that full body rotation. Very good. And then come to a stand point or a still point. And so with that, and we're kind of doing this earth energy thing, I want to do something kind of fun. I like this move. So I'm going to show you from the side, because what we're doing is it's like we're moving from the ankles and the knees and then the hips. So we're going to start low. So you're almost like a little soft squat. And then your hands are going to go to the left and your knees are going to go to the right. And then you're going to circle and meet in the middle. So it's almost like a little bit of, rubbing your head and tapping your belly. So there's a lot of opposite movement, which is very much of the earth energy. The earth is on an axis. It rotates around that. So we think of our bodies and our minds as this circular type of movement. Very good. And come to a stop, and then go the opposite. Very nice. And then let's come to a stop, rise, and now we're going to really bring it into our hips. So as the hands come together, the hips go forward. So that's always my how do I remember if I'm doing the opposite? And in class it's so funny because everybody gets a little mixed up or whatever. And that's the fun of it, right? No big deal. There's no perfectional move, it's just movement. Very good, and then come to a stop, and then go to the opposite side. And you're just really feeling this circular action through the spine, all the way up to the neck. I find if I find one focal point and I do this movement, it helps to rotate my neck just a little bit, very softly. Very good. And then come into a standstill. And now we're going to do it with our arms up. So this is more you really want to get into the thoracic spine. So say the hands are out, move your body to the right, feet to the hands to the left, and then you just start. And I think there's a dance move with this. I don't know the name of it, but really feel it in the shoulders and the back. Like you're busting out a move at the club, you're having a good time. I know many people that are watching this are clubbers, right? But it's really trying to get the whole body movement. Very good. And then come to a stand, and then opposite. So you'll go right with the hand, whatever the opposite was for you. Even I get confused. And of course, I'm I don't know how you're looking at this. It might be opposite of what I'm saying. So just know we're gonna do both sides, so it doesn't really matter. There's no magic in starting left versus right. It's just movement. Always back, just a movement, and that's all you have to think about. Very good, and then coming back to a standstill. Very good. And then let's just go ahead and widen our feet. Just do a little bit of, we call it the constant bear posture. And so you keep your hips forward, and you just allow the arms to swing. I like looking forward so that I can feel that slight rotation in my neck once again. And you're just tapping yourself nicely. We're not trying to be mean or punch our kidneys really hard. It's just a soft tap. And you're letting your arms be very weightless. I loved a teacher said once, she's like, you swing like you have a sweater on and you don't have your arms in your sleeves and you're just swinging the empty sleeves around. Very good. And since we are in that transitional posture, I want to stimulate the lungs and the kidneys. So look on the inside of your chest, like right at the inside of the deltoid. That's where you're gonna hit. That's lung 1, 2. And then the low back, like just right at the low back, you're gonna just tap. And I guess you would call it right above the kidneys, or right at it. So in transitional times, and we call them tune-up times in acupuncture world, we like to turn on the kidneys and the lungs, because that's our connection from the above to the below. And if anything's just kind of interrupted in between, this is a good way to kind of stabilize it and bring that communication back. I use it a lot with allergy treatments to bring yourself back in balance so it's not overreacting from the white blood cells and histamines and all that good stuff. All right, and then let's go ahead and just tap onto our spleen and our liver, so right below the breast tissue on the lower ribs. And so you just kind of tap. And we know the physical liver is on the right side, the physical spleen is on the left. And I say physical because in Chinese medicine it's bilateral. And so that's more of an energetic looking way versus the actual physical. But all the same, right? We can talk about that another day. All right, and then tap back onto the lungs. Very nice. And then release the punch. And just back to swings. Very good. Slowly, slowly coming to a stop. And taking a moment to really breathe into what you notice. Maybe you notice your heart rate's being up a little bit. See if you can slow that down through your breath. Maybe noticing some vibration through the body. It's kind of cool, right? Bringing blood and chi and movement. And then let's just start to shake it off a little bit. So you do it with your knees and your hips and then the arms. And you just let your shoulders kind of shake about. Even let your jaw soften. You might even feel your eyebrows bounce a little bit. And your hair. Just kind of shaking it off. And since we are in the fall, I can just say, we're just shaking off the excess leaves, things that we need to let go of again, and so that we are clear and ready for the yin, for the study, for the sitting, for the being still. Very good, and then stop. And just allow yourself to feel what you feel. I would encourage, we're going to bring the hands a little bit slightly in front. This is going into our just a couple of minutes of standing meditation. And so just imagine you got a big old ball or a big old cozy pillow that you're touching. And just allow that touch of that pillow or what have you to bring a little bit, a tiny bit of weight into your arms to anchor you. At the same time, paying attention or bringing attention to what do you feel in your body right now. Maybe you're still vibrating from all the shaking. Maybe you're noticing your feet a little bit more now. Maybe you're starting to notice where you tighten up just naturally and unconsciously. See if you can soften that. Bringing the awareness back to the breath. Breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. In. Out. Slowly start to bring the hands back to lower dantian. Maybe setting an intention for your practice today, thinking about the 8 silk brocades reflecting on the wisdom that you have acquired this year in 2025. The many, many lessons, the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs. Very good. All right. So let's bring our hands behind our back and just do some circles. I need to check one thing real quick. And in reverse direction, I have to write down all my sets. And there was one that I was like, oh, let's be sure. Yeah, the kidney draining. There we go. I remember now. All right. Coming back to a still point. And let's just go ahead and begin with the first of the 8 brocades. And so what we're going to do is you're just going to bring your hands in front of your body. So the hands, it's like it's scooping up energy from the earth. Breathing in, rising to the chest, then to the head. At that point, you're going to clasp the hands and then revert. So press your hands, the palms of your hands toward the sky. And then slowly release out as if you are a rainbow. So you're creating this arc. And then back down. All right, so we're going to keep repeating that. So breathe it in. Drawing the energy up from the earth. Rising it through your body. Clasp the hands. Press up toward the sky to open up the sides of your body. Nice little stretch in the arms. And then release as if to let it cascade back down to the earth. We're going to talk a lot of earthy aspects. Breathing in, coming up. Rise with your breath. In front of the face, the hands clasp. Press up. And then start to release. So traditionally, they talk about this posture influencing the Sanjiao. Do you guys know what the organ of the Sanjiao is? No, we don't think of that as an organ name that we are familiar with. But the Sanjiao is what we would really kind of translate into, to just oversimplify, is the fascia of the body. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, opening back down. So, if the Sanjiao is the fascia of the body, it is the biggest communicator from our brain to our bodies that we have. Open it out. And if you don't know what fascia is, it is a phenomenal aspect of our body. It is the covering of every single cell in the body, and it has no beginning and no end. I find that absolutely fascinating. Excuse me. Breathe in, clasp, press up, open out. Let's do 2 more. So thinking about the fascia of the body, the covering of our body, it's also the major electrical conduit. So it's almost like a watery matrix that the electrical current of our mind and our nervous system communicate with. Breath in, one last time. Clasp, press, open. Very nice. And then we're going to gather that energy, that Sanjiao, that connection, And we're going to keep the elbows low because we're going to bring this information right to our hearts. A moment as you breathe out, caress the front of your body. This is called the Ren Mai, activating that vessel. And then come back to center. Very good. All right. And so now the second brocade. So this is a more earthy one, right? So we want to bring that in. So this one's kind of weird. So I'm going to imagine that you're mirrored, like we are mirrored. So I'm going to say you're going to take your right hand and you're going to press that hand below. So it's just facing downward. And then the other hand is going to press upward. So it's two opposite movements, right? All right. So we're going to breathe in. And as we breathe in, I'm going to show from the side. As we breathe in, we're going to soften our knees as if we're expanding and contracting all at the same time, okay? Then we're going to windmill the hands to the opposite side. Breath in. Breath out. Soften the knees, open the arms. A lot of opposite movements going on. As we open the arms out, we straighten the legs. And repeat. So contract, or I'm sorry, I do that all the time. All right, so contract, and then as we press up, soften the knees. Breath out, windmill, straighten the knees. Draw up. Press, soften. So the earth is all about transformation and transition. And usually in the transformation and transition, there's a lot of contracting and expanding all at the same time. It's like we're fitting into a new suit. We've got to contract a little bit to get it in, you know, we got to open up to make it fit. Breath out. Breath in. Let's do one more on each side. Extend and soften the knees. Open out. Straighten the knees. Last one. Press. And then just let that arm come down. And then let's gather the earth energy of transformation and transition. Gather that energy right to the heart. And then allow the hands to press down the front of the body, down the Ren Mai to the lower Dantian, which is about 2 inches below your belly button. Very good. All right. And then, so the third brocade is this arrow, like you're a bow and arrow move. It's one of, I find it fun. It's a fun one. All right, so the knees come out, the feet go out. So it's about 3 foot different distance apart. I usually have my feet outward. I mean, if it feels better, you can have the feet forward, but I don't know. I don't know if that's good for the knees, so you feel you, right? But as you come up, and you're going into a nice squat, but you're going to bring your hands up to your chest. And then, I mean, you can make your squat super deep, but here's the thing. If you're strong enough to sustain straight, then that's fine. But if you start bending over, don't do it. Don't do it. If your squat is here, that's perfect. As long as you can keep your body erect. So I want your head to be above your sacrum. So don't compromise that because it's not stable and you're not only hurting yourself and nobody else. So because nobody else can see you. So you take it to what's right for you, okay? All right. Not to be preaching, but I am. All right. And so now we're going to breathe. So you'll find that squat that feels solid and strong, but your head is upward. And then you're going to come out. So the hands, it's like this. So this is your sight, on your bow. And then it's like you're pulling So you pull it kind of with these next two fingers, and then you're kind of opening up. So you open up, but you don't like overextend. So you want to keep it strong. Like you're hunting and you're getting whatever it is that you're hunting for. So, all right, so come up, breathe in, open. Draw your legs up, and then you're going to make a cross, and then you're going to press. Look at what you're shooting at. Use your eyes. Use your eyes. Breath in, breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breath in, breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, strong. Eyes are focused. This is the liver energy of focus and creativity. Seeing past yourself, looking through that sight. Breath in, breath out. One more on each side. Breathe in, breathe out. Very nice. Coming back to the center. Bring the feet back into Wuji stance, which is 1 foot apart. And then release the hands. Again, we're going to draw this energy to the heart. And then allow that energy to go down to the lower dantian. So it's like we're bringing that energy to the heart, and then we're going down into the kidney area. So there's your fire and your water coming together. This is really nice. All right. So the next posture, this is number 4, and I really, really love this one. It has been really clear to me this year of what is wisdom and what we can gain from the wisdom, because this has been the wood snake here. So it's a lot of inner contemplation and a lot of outward movement all at the same time. So I just really love this one. And it's a very, very simple move, but it's very profound. So the feet are hip width apart again. And now traditionally they call it it's the owl that releases all diseases, or this is the movement of the 5 major diseases. Like there's a lot around like disease and movement. But I really like to think about this one as the wise owl looks. He looks around, and then he looks back inside. And then he looks around and looks back inside. So you can pick out whatever one you want, but this is the one I'm going to be focusing on. So what you're doing, like I said, simple move. So you come inward, and I'm going to show you from the side. So it's like you're looking inward. The hands go inward. And then you're breathing in and looking over to the right. And then breathe out, look back inside. Then breathe in, over to the left. Breathe out. The wise owl looks around. Breathing out, coming back in. Breath in, look over to your left. Breathe out. Breath in. Breathe out. I don't know if you guys have experienced such crazy, it's a wild, humanity is very wild right now. And so it's even more important that we do these practices, because if you kind of think about it, what were our ancestors going through when they came up with these medicines, these practices? They were in great chaos, great war, just like we are kind of in right now. And so it is more important to go within before you go without. But you have to do both. Breath in. Breath out. Last one on each side. Breathing in, looking around. Breathing out, going in. Breathing in, look over to the other side. And then come back to center. And then let's gather the wisdom of the owl. Breathing in as we look around, but then let's draw in what we need. And then draw that down into your bellies, into our lower dantian. Very good. I just love QiGong, so it just feels so good to me. And so this next one it's called a kidney draining. And so what we're going to use is the urinary bladder system and then also activating the kidney energy. So I'm going to show you from the side because you're going to bring the hands to your lower back. And you're just going to take a deep breath in and open the chest. Then you're going to breathe out, slowly fold forward as your hands caress the backs of your legs. And then you go all the way down to the bottom, and then you're going to reach around the front of your toes, and then go up the inside of your leg. This is the kidneys. And then the kidney channel goes right along, like right outside the belly button. So we're going to go up, breath in, rise the hands up, as if to receive something from the heavens. Then you're taking that energy and you're bringing it down into your body. That's the wisdom. Bringing it in. And then again, circle back. Breath in, open. Breath out, start to fold forward. Breath in, come back up. Rise. All the way up. Breath out. Bring that energy down into the body to be processed into the system. Hands come back around and repeat. Breath in. Breath out. Breathe in. Draw up. Rise all the way up. Grasp the heavenly chi, the information. Draw that down from the heavens, from the spirit, from the gods, whatever you want to, however you want to think of it. And then again, bring it to your kidneys. Breath in, breath out. In a lot of Chinese understanding, everything starts with the kidneys. Everything starts at D4, which is we call the gate of life. It's also L2, L3. And that is where the spinal cord in utero, that spark that happened between the egg and the sperm, that's where it started its creation. So we believe that all the DNA is located down into the kidney area, which might sound a little bit strange, but it is what it is. I don't argue it too much, just because there is a lot of reverence and reference to the lower body and its innate energy and processes. So that's where life begins too, right? It's the uterus. Breathe in. Breathe out. That's that whole area. So you can call it kidney, you can call it the spinal cord, you can call it what you have, but that is where that energy is the most potent. Breath in. Draw from the heavens. Breathe out. Like you're cascading that information through the system. Let's do one more. Breath in. Breath out. Breathe it in. Rising up. as if to receive. Draw in. And then release the hands and gather the chi. Gather the wisdom of the kidneys, the wisdom of the heavens, and bring that back to our hearts. Breath in, breath out. Take that energy back down to the lower dantian. Very good. All right. So we've done a couple of real slow pulling things out. Well, now we got to get things moving, right? So let's bring the feet out again a little bit further. This is something that you practice with what we call heart fire. Heart fire, fire is in the fire. Heart is in the fire element, and we want that fire to be the perfect, I was at Fall Creek Falls this weekend, and there was a fireplace, and they had a gas fire, going. It was just very consistent. It just flowed perfect. It didn't get too high, it didn't get too low, and that's what you want in your heart space. And when it gets a little too high, that's what we call anxiety. When it gets a little too low, then that could be depression. So we want to have that perfect balance, right? And so this is a really cool way to do that. So you go into a bent position. So you're crouching down. Okay, so I'm going to show you from the side. You're here. And your butt's kind of stuck out. And another way you can, this is the dragon wags its tail. So, so you got a big tail, right? Big booty, wagging that thing around. And so, but we're doing it in concert with the heart. So, get into your little crouch, right? And so we're going to take a deep breath in, breathe out, and just wave as if your chest is forward over toward the right. And then you rise up to almost center. So you're almost coming to stand, but not quite. And then you're going to shift right over toward the left. Breath in. Now toward the left, over to the right. Breath out. Sweep the chest across the floor. Breath in. Breath out. And just feel the strength of your legs, the strength of your muscles, and in the lightness of your upper body as it just sways down, lifting up, coming back down, back up. One more on each side. Breath out, breath in. Last one. Back to where we began. Coming back up to the center. Bring the feet back into Wuji. And then let's breathe in and gather that beautiful energy, that heat, that movement back to our hearts. Breath in, breath out, release down. Very good. All right. So we've got 2 more brocades to go. The next one is, now we're going to talk to our liver. And so we're going to breathe in, and the hands are coming by your side. It's like you're going to punch. So it's like the martial art kind of looking thing. And we're going to take a deep breath in, but then I want you to focus on something, whatever it is in front of you, but you find a spot on the wall or something, and you're going to really, really focus in on that. So take a deep breath in, breathe out, punch down. Breath in, breath out. Draw in, breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breath in, breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften the knees. Draw the knees up as you come up. Breath out. Soften the knees coming forward. Breath in. Breath out. Breathe Last one. Breath in. Breath out. Very good. Coming back. Release. We might have one more person walking in. This is the start of our clinic day, but I wanted to get this video done. So breathing in, drawing back to your heart. Taking that moment of reverence and honoring, gathering that gratitude to be able to do this practice. And then press the hands down the renmai, down to the lower belly once again. Very good. All right. So, last but not least, this is it's called shake your back. So it's something like super simple, right? But it's to think about like just shaking and releasing anything that's kind of stuck into the system, and so we don't want any of the energy stuck, and so we want to kind of shake it out. So we're gonna have our feet just a little bit wider, and then you're just gonna, I'm gonna show you from the side. So you're just gonna allow your head to go down, and then you're just really slowly going into a forward fold. Sure, you could probably go faster, but you're just gonna kind of take it very slow. Let your head be really heavy, and your arms like ape arms, like just really relaxed. And then you're gonna soften the knees, draw yourself up, and then you're gonna let the hands go back and the hips go forward. It's just gonna be weird. It's like a weird position. And then you come up, and then you hop. That's the shake. All right, so let's do that again. They say it's like shaking off all the diseases, right? And we want to get all that done before we go into our winter so we can have a healthy winter, right? All right, stand up tall, and then let the head go down. Let the arms be heavy. Go all the way down to the bottom. Soften the knees deeply. And then press through the feet to draw yourself up from the spine. And then let your hips come forward. Your arms go back. And then draw yourself up to standing. And then hop. Do it again. Coming forward. Soften the knees. Press through the feet. Slowly draw yourself back up. Let your hips come forward. Let your arms go back. Come to standing. And hop. Again. Forward fold. Soften the knees. Slowly come back up. Open. Come forward. Then hop. Let's do 2 more, and I'll just show you again from the side. Just as a reminder to really just let yourself, like, you just really let it go. Knees, soften the knees, press through the feet. Slowly come up, open the hips, draw yourself up to standing, and then hop. Last one. Back down. Soften, press through the feet. Slowly coming up, hop. Very nice. And let's just gather that energy from the heart, keeping the elbows down, back to the center. And let that energy go back down to the lower belly. And then let's breathe in and extend the arms out, all the way up, as if to embrace 8 brocades, your tapestry, your story. woven in and out of all the good, the bad, the ugly. It's all a part of you. And that's what makes you so unique, because everyone's so different. But yet we are the same and we are one. Breath in one more time. Gather. Draw the hands down. Very good. So there is the 8 brocades. And I always like to end class. This is from my teacher. So I want to share it today. So you take your right hand, which will look like your left hand for me, you know, or mirroring, but it is your right hand. And then you make that hand into a fist. This is your discipline. This is your discernment. This is your practice. The other hand comes together. You bring the thumb together and all the fingers. This is all of you that are watching this video and practicing. This is your family. This is your community. We bring that together. We bow to each other, thanking each other for practicing this wonderful medicine. Thank you. Coming back up. Second bow is in honor of our teachers of our past, present, and the ones we're not ready for just yet. Thank you. And last but not least, honor and respect to our ancestors, our mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, the lineage that made us who we are. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're in Knoxville, Tennessee, come see me at Balance You Clinic. I teach every Wednesday at 11, and I hope that I can do more videos and get you in the loop as well. All right. Take care.